Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, about 10 minutes away. Clash with Kenzie. We'll get you on the phones for tickets for Jet at the Salt Shed. But first, sports.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this is one of the most baffling moves a Chicago sports team has ever made. And we can go back decades and review everything, but I don't want to review some disgusting past that will just make me angry and sad. But this is right up there with one of the saddest things ever in Chicago sports, and we just can't get a break. We cannot get a break. Zach LaVine was traded away from the Bulls, which I approved of. I signed off on that. Ryan Dorff hit me up and said, listen, Brian, you sure on this one? You have an autographed Zach LaVine jersey in the studio. Yep. Let's move on from it, try to rebuild, although they didn't get anything for him. Not at all. They got a quarter worth a quarter in that trade. More on the quarter that comes up in Clash with Kenzie later.
Oh, boy.
But this stuns me. Lonzo Ball was a player that didn't play for 2 years because his knee hurt. And even after surgeons looked at it and said there's nothing wrong, he said, I don't know, it still hurts. Did not play. Came back this year and finally played. And he's playing decent. Not incredible, but he's playing decent for the team. Team lost last night, so now they're 500 without Zach LaVine. By the way, Lonzo Ball did not play last night.
Oh, really? He didn't?
I don't know if that's load management or his knee hurt, or it's because he got a 2-year extension for the Bulls worth $20 million. Kenzie, your guy got $20 million.
I'm so proud of him.
I know you are.
I'm so proud of him.
This is a guy that's done the least in Chicago sports and will make $100 million by the time this contract's over. I can't think of anybody. Think of a bigger failure that was overpaid in Chicago sports. I right at the top of my head, I can't. There's been a lot of failures. There's been a lot. And again, I don't want to go through all of them. I have to kind of do my research in my brain to go through it. I don't think there's anybody that stole more money from a team than Lonzo Ball from one of our Chicago sports teams. Can anybody, recommendations, go for it to jog my memory, go for it on the text line if you'd like.
Can I throw
I think he earned it.
No, I don't think he earned it. I think he missed 2 full seasons of basketball and then came back for half a year.
His knee or something hurt.
Yeah, I know, Kenzie. I know. And listen, I would never, ever want someone injured to push it.
Well, it sounds like you do.
Listen, get out there and play. You're paid. He was paid $84 million for 4 years, and now he's got a 2-year contract extension for $20 million to stay. He's averaging 7.2 points per game, 3.5 assists in 30 games this year. Not astounding. Not astounding. I will argue my high school stat line because, like Kenzie's husband, Kenzie's husband, his mom saved all his newspaper clippings from high school sports. I averaged not a double-double, but double digits in points. Mm-hmm. Before I caught mono, I had to miss half the season. 7 points a game, $20 million, 2 years, now $100 million. $100 million.
It's just frustrating because when you trade Zach LaVine, your best player, you think, okay, we're gonna see the Bulls completely rebuild. We're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up, and that would normally imply also trading somebody like Lonzo Ball, but they did the opposite of trading him. They said, why don't you stick around a little while longer? And for as much as I like Buzelis, the rookie star for the Bulls, I think he's going to be very, very good. He already is good. It's not the type of thing where he's going to lead a team to the playoffs next year. They're just prolonging their misery.
Yeah, it's terrible. Listen, a lot of people on the text line bringing up Jay Cutler. Mm-hmm. He got a lot of money. I think it was $120 million. And at least there were moments where I thought we could do something with Jay Cutler. That he was doing, it was a failure, obviously, but there was moments when Jay Cutler was there. It's not this level of failure of Lonzo Ball. Somebody also checked in, Aaron, that Lonzo should split that money with Scottie Pippen. Since he didn't get paid back, and they got $8 million to get 3 titles. Not a bad thought. That puts it in perspective.
Can I throw 2 bad Chicago sports contracts at you?
Sure.
The Bulls, 10 years ago, signed Dwayne Wade for $35 million for 1 season, and then they had to trade him away because he was so bad. That was a bad one. That was well-intentioned because Dwayne Wade, we're like, bring him home. Bring our boy home. Not good.
But a guy who had a ring and had a resume.
A resume. I also thought about Milton Bradley for the Cubs. Do you remember when the Cubs brought in Milton Bradley?
Wow.
And he was the biggest distraction and the worst player. And just like every other team that had him, at some point the Cubs were like, we beg of you, please take this guy off of our roster. We will trade him for peanuts.
This one has to be the top, though. Lonzo Ball. I know it's Kenzie's idol. Kenzie loves that he stole money.
He's done what we've all wanted to do with our life, and that is make a lot of money while kind of relaxing. And I have his picture in my mirror in the morning.
Yeah. Do you do the little kiss touch to it, like you're saying a little prayer to him in the morning?
Let's go. I see him, and I'm like, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
You're like, Lonzo, I see you.
I see you.
I
respect him.
I'm present in your journey.
I'm manifesting a life like yours.
God, I respect that man.
I'd have to go back and research. Somebody said Nomar Garciaparra's contract. Again, I don't think it's as big a failure as this. I will do the analytic research after the show today. I got a lot of time on my hands this day.
Apparently.
But I'm disgusted by this. I am disgusted. Disgusted.
This Nomar contract's pretty bad. The Cubs paid him $8.25 million in 2005. He was gone the next year.
Yeah, but that seems like nothing now, right? $20 million. Lonzo will have $100 million.
Okay, I don't want to break out the inflation calculator.
I understand.
It's a whole other thing.
I guess $8 million was a lot when Nomar was playing for 1 year and didn't do anything.
Very bad.
Yeah. By the way, the Bulls did lose, as we said, to the Timberwolves. Lonzo didn't play. Load management, knee hurt. I don't know what the answer was there. Blackhawks lost to the Oilers. Interesting part, there was a bat flying around the United Center before the game.
Like a animal bat?
Yeah, like a bat. The COVID bat.
The Wuhan bat?
Yeah, the Wuhan bat.
Did
The
they
Salt
catch
Shed's
it?
like, suck on that.
Yeah, I remember the story from the Salt Shed when they were worried about people at the outdoor show because a bat had rabies, was right near there in the park, and some people had to go get checked out on that. But I guess they got it before the game started. But there's a lot of video of the bat just flying around an empty United Center before a game, that fervor. So I guess good for the bat. Tomorrow we're going to have in sports our Super Bowl prop bets. Each of us are going to pick some of the exotic prop bets, like the national anthem, how long it goes, all that kind of stuff in sports. We will have that for you tomorrow right here at 7 o'clock.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time to get you on the phones for Clash with Kenzie, 312-591-8300. Call right now. Call to compete against Kenzie in trivia for a chance to get tickets to Jet at the Salt Shed from our great partners and friends, Salt Shed. And we'll give the tickets away either way to everybody listening. But if you compete for them and you grab them out of our hands by winning in trivia, they are yours. So call now, 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101. You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Well, here we go. Clash with Kenzie, the Salt Shed. Jet, you will get tickets for it. But before we get there, before we bring up our competitor, a very beautiful thing. We had an Amazon package here to the radio station, the Brian and Kenzie, this morning when we came in. Opened it up, and it was this. It's a beautiful jewelry box, and I'll read the note. Now, no one, Kevin, can use your quarter for a portion of their Snickers bar purchase anymore. Thank you for many great Chicago mornings from John McLean, dedicated fan. So he bought us this little box to put the quarter in the studio so no one can steal the quarter. We flip to see who goes first.
That's awesome.
It's really great. It's really great. Kevin, I guess, got a ton of crap last night on the air on Q101.
Good.
to the
As
point,
he should. Well, that's what happens when you're a thief. You should be in prison today.
Kenzie, I didn't tell you this. He called me and I pushed him the voicemail because I knew what he was complaining about.
Good.
Sorry.
I have him blocked. He probably tried to call me, but he can't reach me.
Well, you know, Kenzie only has a couple favorites when the ringer's turned off. Me and Case aren't in that either, but, you know, we can
No.
get right through someday.
I'm napping.
Take a little nappy nap. All right, here we go. So we have competing today is this Chris in McHenry. Chris, ahoy. Tell us something about yourself.
Ahoy, I am actually on my way into work right now. I work for Lake County Public Works in the Water and Wastewater Treatment Department.
Woo. How's our water?
It's good. I mean, I don't do anything for Cook County necessarily out by you guys, but ours is good.
I love how we had to qualify it. Your water sucks, but Lake County's good. I'll tell you what Lake County has is a hell of a lot of cheap gas. Cheaper than Cook County, I should say, in reference point, because Illinois has high gas in general. But Lake, if I can make up to Lake to get gas, the problem is my cost structure doesn't survive by the time I drive to Lake County to get my gas.
Yeah, I don't think you're saving all that much, unless you hit a Woodman's.
I went to a Thornton's and got a quarter that we used for a while there, and Thornton's was pretty cheap too.
Oh, good.
Woodman's is super cheap.
Yeah.
People that believe in Woodman's, it's almost like me, like a Costco person, the Woodman store and the gas. It's, unreal.
All right.
All right, let's move on.
Love it. Love it. Cheap gas. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Okay, first one to 5 wins. Remember, Chris, if Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Chris?
Tails.
It is tails. So, Chris wins.
Tails never failed.
And, Chris, here we go. Question number 1. Who exposed Janet Jackson's breast during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake is right. And staying with Super Bowl halftime shows, Kenzie, which solo artist played in a rainstorm during the 2007 Super Bowl halftime show in Miami?
Prince.
That was Prince. That was the Bears Super Bowl, by the way, against the Colts 18 years ago. We can't say
That hurts.
Yeah, we cannot say recently the Bears were in the Super Bowl anymore. I've checked myself 100 times on it now, and I'm going forward, not recently. It's not.
I vividly remember that night. I was so excited to watch the Prince concert. And my mom made meatball subs, but I was a little disappointed because the one she scooped up for me sat out for a while and the bread was soggy, much like all of Prince's clothes.
Oh,
Nobody likes
That
soggy bread.
sucked.
meatball subs are tricky because you've got to eat them
Eat it
quickly.
fast. You got to toast it to help.
No, you don't need to toast it, actually. So as a meatball sub aficionado, that's
Ooh.
my order at Subway is a foot-long meatball sub on white bread, not toasted, no cheese. Put meatballs on bread, slide it down
Gross.
the counter. It actually, not toasting the bread helps. It absorbs everything. It's good. It's like sandbags.
No.
It's like bags of
I don't like squishy bread. I don't want the
it's
soggy.
not squishy. It's
It
just
is.
not. I don't want hard bread. I don't want toasted bread. Toast is just hard bread.
And you don't put cheese on it. How dare you say anything?
Okay.
After listening to everything that Chase eats, I don't really trust anything he says.
Exactly.
Or case.
Exactly.
I
He
can't
eats
argue
like a
that.
5-year-old.
Exactly.
All right, 1-1 back to Chris.
Chris, what comet can be seen from Earth about every 75 years?
Haley's Comet.
Haley's Comet. You probably know that from the Shinedown song more than anything
So
else.
I think that's the number one comment people know.
2-1 back to Kenzie.
That was the only one I had.
Kenzie, what joins muscles to bones?
Hey,
That
I don't
wasn't,
appreciate
that wasn't
that.
nice, Brian.
Well, she went,
I know.
she went,
Well, because I'm going between two things. I think it's I'm gonna go with the tendon.
Tendons is right. What was the other
Okay.
thing you were going to say? I'm just curious.
This is stupid, but I was like, what's always on when I'm cutting up chicken and stuff, cartilage is always there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, is it cartilage? But I'm like,
Ugh.
no, it's the tendon. So that's what I was thinking of, cartilage and tendons.
Nothing like, you got to cut that out of the chicken breast before you cook them up because you bite into that. Ugh.
Exactly. So
Gross.
I'm like, I know that's up in there. It is a problem.
His cartilage is all up in there.
Right.
Let's see. Back to Chris.
Chris. Yes, 2-2.
Chris, how many holes can be found in the standard bowling ball?
3.
3 is right. I don't know how many there would be if there's 5 in there. I don't know. It'd be pretty funny to see a bowling ball like that. I haven't been bowling in a while. I love bowling.
Dude, you got to go bowling. Go, let's
Is
go
there,
to fu-
is there a bowling ball with more or less than that?
That's what I was wondering. I don't think so. I don't know
There
if
are some people that use only 2 and do two-handed bowling, and there used to be allowed to be side holes for counterbalancing.
Good Lord.
I didn't know
Well,
we had
you
a bowling
obviously
expert.
the bowling ball expert we called.
You want to go bowling, Chris, sometime? I'll come to Lake County, get some gas, and then we'll go bowling.
Sounds good. I bowl every Monday night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, damn.
I'll drink some
No
of
more
the-
bowling questions.
So a 7-10 split. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, 3-2 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, how many periods of regulation are there in a men's college basketball game?
Periods of regulation? 4?
4 is not right. Do you know the answer, Chris?
It is 2.
It's 2. There are 2 halves of the basketball game in college, 4 quarters in the NBA. Let's see. Now let's go back to Kenzie.
No, it's back to Chris.
Oh.
And he's ahead 4-2. He can win right here.
Okay. Chris, what do you call the feeling of having experienced something before? That feeling.
Deja vu.
Deja vu is right, and Chris wins. He's
I
providing
never get anything but a busy tone, and I finally get through it. I actually won.
Oh, wow. Case has you blocked, by the way. He just happened to
Okay.
accidentally unlock you, so there you go. All right, man. Congratulations. You are going to see Jet at the Salt Shed.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right, man. Keep
Great.
that water safe in Lake County, and congratulations. Remember, we have a huge concert announcement coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. I mean, massive. And tomorrow at this time in Clash with Kenzie, we'll have tickets to that show that we announced today at 9. That'll be tomorrow in Clash with Kenzie.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's finally here, the end. We have come to the end. And most people stop their things when January ended, but not us. That's not how we do things here. We certainly are behind most people. Or underachievers. As we took 5 weeks to go to Super Bowl weekend. And before Kenzie also has a big party for her son's 1-year birthday, which the buffet sounds outstanding. A great time to end this weight loss challenge.
Just in the nick of time.
What is it, a churro bar?
There is going to be a churro bar amongst many other things.
It's okay. It's not just churros. There's a bar where you can choose your churro and what you want on it.
I don't think I've ever had a churro.
What?
Really?
Is that the long thing?
Yes.
I mean, I want to say yes, but I also don't know what you're thinking of.
It's like a long donut. Kind of like a long donut.
That sounds awesome.
Like a tube, a donut tube.
Well, I should have that.
You should have been having these your whole life.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, Super Bowl weekend. There's a lot of food choices and deliciousness. So tomorrow, right at this time, at 7:50, we'll be doing the final weigh-ins. And we did a weigh-in on Monday, and myself and Kenzie, by body weight percentage, that's how we're doing it, because obviously me and Case weigh way more than Kenzie. So
Thank God. You're
Yeah.
6'4". You know how bad that would be for me?
we couldn't just do a pounds loss, because then Kenzie would be down like to 5 pounds by the time we had to get to us. So myself and Kenzie, unbelievably, were exactly tied in that. And Kenzie, you have all the stats.
Okay, yes. So we started this competition. Brian started at 247 even. Okay?
Yeah.
And last week he weighed in at 236.2 pounds.
Yes.
Okay? For a weight loss percentage of 4.37.
Okay.
I started out at 141.8. Last week I weighed in at 135.6 for also a weight loss percentage of 4.37.
That's incredible. We were exactly tied on
Pisses
percentage.
me off. I'm trying so... The pictures that you posted of your food last week, I want to cry, but I digress. Anyways.
I had the Lou Malnati's pizza. I had a California Pizza Kitchen bacon cheeseburger,
D'Agostino's pizza.
D'Agostino's pizza, and an El Tapatio La Califa burrito, which is what was stuffed with potatoes, a California
and
burrito.
all I've done is mentally eat, so it's very frustrating.
Kenzie just looks at food. She doesn't eat
Yeah,
it.
so that's cool. So, and then Chase is in third place. He started at 250 pounds, and last week he weighed in at 244.8. He is down 2.08 body weight percentage.
Which is nice.
For some people.
It's nice.
You know.
It is nice. That's a good weight loss there, baby.
I'm proud of us. We've all lost a lot of weight.
Well, Brian, you and I, because we did this last year, but Kenzie was in the midst of having a baby, and so we thought it'd be unfair to include her in the competition. But
I didn't think it'd be fair.
With a human in her body.
that whole thing.
Yeah.
But you and I have lost more weight this year than we did last year. Now, we also started heavier this year than we did last year.
This is true.
But we're almost back to basically ground zero.
Yeah, I ballooned up nicely before this competition. From Thanksgiving to New Year's, I ate cookies and beer every day.
What are you, Santa Claus?
And that got me to 247.
Well, my thing with Brian is Brian wants to lose weight every year. But then he goes, you know what? I'm going to gain a lot of weight at the end of the year so I can lose the most. But all he does is get back down to the weight he was before the holidays. So he never loses the actual weight that he wants to lose.
I kind of am there right now in this 230, mid 230s range.
Yeah.
My goal was 220 in 5 weeks.
So do you think you're going to lose 16 pounds this week?
Well, let me tell you how I'm going to do it.
Oh.
I've got a plan. So it's 7:50 right now. Tomorrow we're doing this at 7:50 or ish, I'm not going to eat from now until tomorrow the weigh-in. I'm going to
You're a
fast.
liar.
I'm fasting for 24 hours. I'm finishing up my last snacks here.
What is your snack right now?
It was an organic fruit
Illuminati's
bar.
pizza.
That's right.
It's Taco Bell breakfast.
I set up a buffet here with the Sterno cans. That's my last snack. Some barbecue.
Buffet.
So I'm going to fast for 24 hours. Fasting has become a really, intermittent fasting become a popular thing in the last several years. Like 15 hours, 14 hours, like you eat dinner and you don't eat again until like 9 in the morning. But I'm going to do 24. Now, when you look this up and say, is that safe to do something like that? Well, it says a couple different things. It says 24-hour fasting can promote fat loss, improve insulin sensitivity, and enhance your body's cellular repair process. However, when it also says it could kill you.
The stakes are very high for tomorrow.
There's really, they say, when it says, how long is it unsafe to fast? Up to 24 hours.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
That's not true. My dad just did a 3-day fast. He was fine.
3 days?
Wait, he didn't eat for 3 days?
Yeah.
What, did he drink any water?
He drank water. He drank black coffee, so there couldn't be anything in it. And he was allowed to have bone broth at night, drink bone broth.
Oh, God. If you find yourself in a position where you're drinking bone broth, reevaluate what you're doing. Eat a cheeseburger at that point.
Did he lose a bunch of weight?
Yeah, he always loses 25 pounds when he does it. It's crazy.
So again, he does this often. Like me, then he goes to get some hot dogs and gains it back up, you mean?
Yeah, no, I asked him why he doesn't just eat healthy, why he just chooses to continuously starve himself for 3-day intermits. And he's like, because he has no self-control. That's why. So he wants to do whatever he wants to do. And then he's like, uh-oh. And then he does that.
Samesies.
Have you thought about tomorrow, Brian, since you're already going to be fasting, living the life of a high school wrestler and maybe wearing a garbage bag over yourself so you can cut some more weight?
God, I forgot about those solar suits we were going to buy.
Oh, that's right. Because I want to turn this into a sweat box tomorrow. I want the three of us to really sweat out our toxins before we step on the scale.
Thank God. I've been asking for the heat to be on in this effing studio for 2 years.
It is a little chilly in here.
I love how our listeners have gone along with this. Sebastian, I lost 10 pounds, went from 175 to 165. I'm getting married, but it's really weight reduction at the drag strip, as he says.
Man, that's good stuff.
Sebastian, appreciate you. That's a lot of people joined along on our journey. It ends tomorrow. I mean, you're supposed to be healthy after the weight loss challenge, but
the Super Bowl and then St. Patrick's Day, that's March Madness.
Wait, St. Patrick's Day is a month and a half away.
You can't just, you got to be able to eat on St. Patrick's Day, and then you're looking at Memorial Day cookouts, and then it's 4th of July, and then Christmas, and then it's all over, and then we have to lose weight in January again.
Just the Christmas weight, though, because that's all Brian ever loses is his Christmas weight.
That's right.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.